We are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, how Daksha Prajapati criticized Shiva because he felt insulted, disrespected. So he criticized Shiva. Then the followers of Shiva protested. No, you are bewildered by Karma Kandiya section of the Vedas, so you cannot get transcendental knowledge. Girach, yes, first Daksha cursed Shiva. He said, you will not get the share in the sacrifices. All other demigods they will get, but except you. Then they counterattack and they said, you will never get transcendental knowledge. Girach Shrutayach Pushpinya Madhu Gandena Bhurina Matna Chonma Thi Tatmana Samuhyantu Haradvishaha. May those who are envious of Lord Shiva, being attracted by the flowery language of the enchanting Vedic promises, and who have thus become dull, always remain attached to fruitive activities. I think this one we... Yes, I don't know if you already read or not. Sarva Bhaksha Dvija Vrityai Drita Vidya Tapovrata Vita Dehendriya Rama Yachaka Vicharantuiha. These brahmanas take to education, austerity, and vows only for the purpose of maintaining the body. They shall be devoid of discrimination between what to eat and what not to eat. They will acquire money, begging from door to door, simply for the satisfaction of the body. This is also their curse of Nandishar. Tasyevam vadatah shapam shrutva dvija kulayave briguh pratyasrija chapam brahmadandam durateyam. When all the hereditary brahmanas were thus cursed by Nandishwar, the sage Brigu, as a reaction, condemned the followers of Lord Shiva with this very strong Brahminical curse. They also could not remain silent. They also counter curse. Bhava vrata dhara yecha tan samanu vrata pashandinaste bhavantu shachastra paripantina. One who takes a vow to satisfy Lord Shiva or who follows such principles will certainly become an atheist and be diverted from transcendental scriptural injunctions. Nashta Shaucha Muradhiyo Jatha Basmasti Dharina Jota Basmasti Dharinaha Vishantu Shiva Dikshayam Yatra Devam Sura Savam. Those who vow to worship Lord Shiva are so foolish that they imitate him by keeping long hair on their heads. When initiated into the worship of Lord Shiva, they prefer to live on wine, flesh, and other such things. Brahmacha brahmanam shchaiva yat yuyam parinindatha setum vidharanam pungsham atah pashandam ashritaha. Brigu Muni continued, since you blaspheme the Vedas and the Brahmanas, who are followers of the Vedic principles, it is understood that you have already taken shelter of the doctrine of atheism. But they were only saying about that fruitive activity portion of the Vedas, to think that that is all in all. But he understood it, they don't have faith in Vedas, so they are atheists. Esha eva hi lokanam shivah pantah sanatana yam purve chanu santastur yat pramanam janardana. The Vedas give the eternal regulative principles for auspicious advancement in human civilization, which have been rigidly followed in the past. The strong evidence of this principle is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is called Janardan, the well-wisher of all living entities. Sanatan Dharma. Varnashram Dharma is also Sanatan Dharma, but the Vaishnava Acharyas, they have explained, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, our Guru, they have explained that Varnashram Dharma is Sanatan only in this sense that it will lead you to realize Atma Dharma or Sanatan Dharma, pure devotion to Krishna, only in that sense. But by itself is not Sanatan, because it is related, you are Brahmin, you are Kshatriya, you are Vaishya, you have to do these duties, all this. It is not Sanatan in reality, but because it will lead to Sanatan Dharma, means Jaiva Dharma, pure devotion, Atma Dharma, that is why it is also called Sanatan Dharma, or like one step towards. Tad Brahma Paramam Shuddham Satam Vartma Sanatanam Vigarhya Yata Pashandam Devam Yo Yatra Bhutarat. By blaspheming the principles of the Vedas, which are the pure and supreme path of the saintly persons, certainly you followers of Bhutapati, means Lord Shiva, the master of the ghosts, Bhut, Lord Shiva will descend to the standard of atheism without a doubt. Bhuts are in mode of ignorance, tamoguna living entities, ghosts. So he is their master. So he thought they're speaking against the Vedas, so they will become atheists. Maitreya Uvach. Tasyaivam vadatah shapam brigoh sa bhagavan bhava. Nishchakrama tatah kinchit vamana iva sanugaha. The sage Maitreya said, when such cursing and counter-cursing was going on between Lord Shiva's followers and the parties of Daksha and Brigu, Lord Shiva became very morose. Not saying anything, he left the arena of the sacrifice, followed by his disciples. Here Swami Maharaj is telling, here Lord Shiva's excellent character is described. In spite of the cursing and counter-cursing between the parties of Daksha and Shiva, because he is the greatest Vaishnava, he was so sober that he did not say anything. Because Amanin Amanadena, he is not demanding any respect. But this Daksha, he was demanding respect. So he became angry and then he started cursing, but Shiva did not say anything because no desire for this. So a Vaishnava is always tolerant, and Lord Shiva is considered the topmost Vaishnava. So his character, as shown in this scene, is excellent. He became morose because he knew that these people, both his men and Dakshas, were unnecessarily cursing and counter-cursing one another without any interest in spiritual life. All fighting is going on only because for material gains, either prestige or money or sense and all. But pure devotee has no any desire for this, so they're not interested. Krishna says in Gita what is day for materialists is night for transcendentalists. And what is day for transcendentalists is night for materialists. They have totally different interests. During daytime, one works, and during nighttime one sleeps. During daytime, one is active. So materialists are very active for material gains all the time. But for spiritual life, they are sleeping, no action. Transcendental is just the opposite. They are very active for spiritual life, but not active for material gains. From his point of view, means of Shiva's point of view, he did not see anyone as lower or higher because he is a Vaishnava, based on bodily platform. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Panditah Samadarshina, one who is perfectly learned does not see anyone as lesser or greater because he sees everyone from the spiritual platform. Thus, the only alternative left to Lord Shiva was to leave in order to stop his follower Nandishwar as well as Bhrigu Muni from cursing and counter-cursing in that way. Tepi Vishwasrijah Satram Sahasra Parivatsaran Samvidaya Maheshvasa Yatreja Rishabhohari. The sage Maitreya continued, O Vidur, all the progenitors of the universal population thus executed a sacrifice for thousands of years. For sacrifice is the best way to worship the Supreme Lord Hari, the personality of Godhead. Aplu Tyava Britam Yatra Ganga Yamunayanvita Viraje Natmana Sarve Swam Swam Dhama Yayustata. My dear Vidur, carrier of bows and arrows, all the demigods who were performing the sacrifice took their bath at the confluence of the Ganges and the Jamuna after completing the yagya performance. Such a bath is called Avabrita Snan. After thus becoming purified in heart, they departed for their respective abodes. This year is Mahakumbha Mela. When the demigods and demons, they were churning the ocean of milk, then poison came, and then so many other things came. Then also nectar came. Then Dhanvantari was carrying that nectar, and few drops of that nectar fell on this earth. So they fell in these rivers. And on specific days, if you take a bath, then you will get that nectar of immortality and also spiritual enlightenment. So there are 3 Kumbha Melas. Kumbha means this pot where nectar was there, pot of Dhanvantari. One is half Mela. It happens every 6 years. And it can be either in Haridwar or Nasik or Prayag or Ujjain, 4 places. Depends where it will happen. Then there is full Kumbha Mela, Purna Kumbha Mela. It happens only every 12 years. Every 12 years, and on specific titis, if you take bath, you will get that. But 12 times 12 years. Means after 144 years, this Mahakumbha Mela happens. Every 144 years, Mahakumbha Mela. This Kumbha Mela is this year, Mahakumbha Mela. It already started, but it is not every day. There are specific days, and it will last up to Shiva Chaturdashi, that is, I think, 26th February or something like that. That will be last day. Not every, is some specific titis, if you take bath. So this year, there's so many people going, millions. The government is very, they have to control so many people. Then, and yes, this Mahakumbha Mela, it will happen only in Prayag Raj, Allahabad, where Jamuna, Ganga and Saraswati, they mix. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also went there, took bath, and there he taught Rupa Goswami, Rupa Shiksha. At Dashashwamedha Ghat, he taught Rupa Goswami and he told him to write Bhakti Rasamrita. So that is very holy place, Prayag. So Mahakumbha Mela is there only. Cannot be in any other place. So there only. So this year, everyone going there. A big event in India. So here also these demigods, they took bath at the confluence of Ganga and Jamuna. This is Avabrita Snan. This Snan is Kumbh Mela. They will get, all your sins are removed, and also you will get spiritual enlightenment if you bath at that time. Next, chapter 3 talks between Lord Shiva and Sati. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended Harinam Sankirtan for removal of sins and getting spiritual enlightenment. That Subudhi Rai, he, you know the story we heard in Chaitanya Charitamrita, that Muslim converted him to Muslim by that water he was drinking. So now he was Muslim, so everyone rejected him out from Hindu or Vedic. That they rejected him, so he thought he's a great sinner. So he asked Brahmin how he can purify himself of all the sins. Then they told him, you have to drink hot ghee and give up this body. Boiled ghee you have to drink and give up body, then that is the only way for purification. But fortunately at that time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also was there, and they met. Then Subudhi Rai explained to him everything, and he asked him what I should do. Then Mahaprabhu told, even one Krishna Nam, even Nama Abbas, can rescue you from all sins, can purify you from all sins. One Nama Abbas. No apparatus there, Nama Abbas can rescue from all sins. And further, when you will chant, you will get Krishna Prem. So you need not do any other methods of purification, but you chant Harinam sincerely. And he did, and he became a great Vaishnava, pure devotee. He was staying in Mathura, means Vrindavan, he was staying, and he was collecting dry wood from the forest and bringing and selling just for the maintenance of his body, and all the time chanting Harinam. That was his life, and he was fully happy. Chapter 3 talks between Lord Shiva and Sati. Maitreya Uvach. Sada vidvishatur evam kalo vai dhriya manayo jamatu shva Shurasyapi Sumahan Ati Chakrame. Maitreya continued. In this manner, the tension between the father-in-law and son-in-law, Daksha and Lord Shiva, continued for a considerably long period. Yada Bishikto Dakshastu Brahmana Parameshtina Prajapatinam Sarvesham Adipatya Smayo Bhavat. When Lord Brahma appointed Daksha the chief of all the Prajapatis, the progenitors of population, Daksha became very much puffed up. Immediately when we get some position, high position, then we are puffed up, proud. And we demand respect. If we not get, we become angry. And we say it is for your good. Ishtva sa vajapayena brahmishtan abhibhuyacha brihaspati savam nama samarebe kratuttamam. Daksha began a sacrifice named Vajapaya, and he became excessively confident of his support by Lord Brahma. He then performed another great sacrifice named Brihaspati Sava. Like in this world, some countries, they get support from some big country, then they are very confident. We can do whatever we like because they are supporting us. You all know what is going on. Tasmin Brahmarshayah Sarve Devarshi Pitri Devataha Asan Krita Swastyayanas Tat Patnyascha Sa Bar Trikaha. While the sacrifice was being performed, many Brahmarshis, great sages, ancestral demigods and other demigods, their wives, all very nicely decorated with ornaments, attended from different parts of the universe. So they're not going for some concert or outside cinema or rave party or like this. No. They're going to the great sacrifice. And they're also nicely dressed and everything. But they're going to a great sacrifice. Tat upashrutya nabhasi ke charanam prajalpatam sati dakshayani devi pitri yagya mahotsavam vrajanti sarvato digbhya upadeva varastriya vimana yana sapreshta nishka kanti suvasasa drishtva sva nilaya vyase lolak shir mrishta kundala patim bhuta patim devam autsukyat abhya bhashata. The chaste lady Sati, the daughter of Daksha, heard the heavenly denizens flying in the sky conversing about the great sacrifice being performed by her father. When she saw that from all directions the beautiful wives of the heavenly denizens, their eyes very beautifully glittering, were near her residence and were going to the sacrifice dressed in fine clothing and ornamented with earrings and necklaces with lockets, she approached her husband, the master of the Bhutas, in great anxiety and spoke as follows. Is here. Thus they looked so beautiful that Sati Dakshayani was impelled to dress similarly and go to the sacrifice with her husband. That is the natural inclination of a woman. When this is happening, they all they want to go. Sati Uvach. Prajapate ste svashurasya sampratam niryapito yagya mahotsavah kila vayam cha tatra bi sharama vamate yadyarthi tami vibuddha vrajantihi. Sati said, "My dear Lord Shiva, your father-in-law is now executing great sacrifices, and all the demigods, having been invited by him, are going there. If you desire, we may also go. Tasmin bhaginyo mama bhar tribih svakair dhruvam gamishyanti suhrid didrikshava aham cha tasmin bhavata bhi kamaye Sahopanitam paribarham arhitum." I think that all my sisters must have gone to this sacrificial ceremony with their husbands just to see their relatives. I also desire to decorate myself with the ornaments given to me by my father and go there with you to participate in that assembly. Tatra swasrir me nano bhartri samita matri swasrih klina dhyam cha mataram drakshe chirot kantamana maharshibir uniyamanam cha mrida dvara dvajam. My sisters, my mother's sisters, and their husbands and other affectionate relatives must be assembled there. So if I go, I shall be able to see them, and I shall be able to see the flapping flags and the performance of the sacrifice by the great sages. For these reasons, my dear husband, I am very much anxious to go. Tvai etat ascharjam ajatma maya vinirmitam bhati guna trayatmakam tatapi aham yoshit atatva vichate dina didriksha bhava me bhavakshitim. This manifested cosmos is a wonderful creation of the interaction of the three material modes, or the external energy of the Supreme Lord. This truth is fully known to you. Yet I am but a poor woman, and as you know, I am not conversant with the truth. Therefore, I will see my birthplace once more. We are attached to birthplace, parents, all these things attached. But Shiva, he knows this is all Maya. It is the external potency of Krishna, so he has no attachment. He is attached only to Krishna. But she said, but she's not like that, but out of like devotee's humbleness, she said, I'm a poor woman, so I don't know. I have no realization. So that is why I desire to go. I heard one person, he was, this is natural, by nature it is. He was so much disturbed, hurt by something happened. So he thought, I will commit suicide. But he wanted to go to his birthplace to commit suicide. From another country to his birthplace. Because that is by nature, that attachment is there. But he overcome then also that thing by the grace of Vaishnava. Yet I am but a poor woman, and as you know, I don't know this. This is all Maya, but so I desire. But this I and mine, this attachment is not so easy. We may know many things. We may quote Shastra, we may memorize, we may speak great lectures, everything. But it is not so easy to give up all attachments to this body, to mind, to world, to relations, to everything. Only attachment to Krishna, that is not so easy. But gradually, if someone practices, then he can achieve this. Pasya Prayantir Abha Vanya Yoshito Pyalankritaha Kanta Saka Varutashaha Yasam Vrajadbih Shiti Kanta Manditam Nabho Vimanai Kala Hangsa Pandubih. O never born, O blue-throated one, not only my relatives, but also other women dressed in nice clothes and decorated with ornaments are going there with their husbands and friends. Just see how their flocks of white airplanes have made the entire sky very beautiful. Katham sutayah pitri geha kautukam nishamya deha suravarya nengate anahuta apya bhi yanti sohridam bhartur guror deha kritascha ketanam. O best of the demigods, how can the body of a daughter remain undisturbed when she hears that some festive event is taking place in her father's house? Even though you may be considering that I have not been invited, there is no harm if one goes to the house of one's friend, husband, spiritual master or father without invitation. You remember, Krishna intentionally told to Narad Goswami, don't invite Brajavasis. Then Narad asked, why they have so much love? He said, because your own person, there is no need for invitation. You can only inform, but no need to invite, because they are always welcomed. So, one goes to the house of one's friend, there is no need to have special invitation. Husband, spiritual master, or father, without invitation, or parents, both. Tam me prasidedam amartya vanchitam kartum bhavam karuniko batarhati tvayatmanor de ham adabra chakshusha nirupita manugrihana yachitaha. O immortal Shiva, please be kind towards me and fulfill my desire. You have accepted me as a half of your body. Therefore, please show kindness towards me and accept my request. Rishir Uvach. Evam Giritrah Priya Yabhi Bhashitaha Pratyabhya Dhata Prahasan Suhrit Priya Samsmarito Marma Bhidah Kuvak Ishun Yan Aha Ko Vishwasrijam Samakshataha. The great sage Maitreya said, Lord Shiva the deliverer of the hill Kailash, having thus been addressed by his dear wife, replied smilingly, although at the same time he remembered the malicious, heart-piercing speeches delivered by Daksha before the guardians of the universal affairs. Shri Bhagavan Uvach. Here Shiva is also Bhagavan. Bhagavan can mean one who has opulence, also like Narad Bhagavan also you can say. But that generally Bhagavan word is for Krishna. Shri Bhagavan Uvach. Tvayoditam Shobanam Eva Shobane Anahuta Apyabi Yanti Bandushu Te Yadi Anutpadita Dosha Drishtayo Baliya Sanatmya Madena Manyuna. The great Lord replied. See here, the great Lord means Lord with small, not with capital letter. The great Lord, like Bhagavan, means Shiva. My dear beautiful wife, you have said that one may go to a friend's house without being invited, and this is true, provided such a friend does not find fault with the guest because of bodily identification and thereby become angry towards him. In that case, so already he knows what happened and what may happen, because his bodily identification, Daksha, so he finds fault with the guest, that is Shiva. Vidya tapo vita vapur vayah kulei satam gunei sadbir asata metarei smrito hatayam brita mana dudrisha stabda na pashyanti hidhama bhuyasam. Although the six qualities, education, austerity, wealth, beauty, youth, and heritage, are for the highly elevated, one who is proud of possessing them becomes blind, and thus he loses his good sense and cannot appreciate the glories of great personalities. Our Gurudev was repeatedly saying this. If you are proud, then you will commit offense to Vaishnavas and Guru. Then you will go down. You cannot appreciate the glories. So one who has our education, austerity, wealth, beauty, youth, and heritage. Naita drishanam swajana vya pekshaya grihan pratiyat anava stitatmanam ye vya gatan vakra dhiya bhi chakshate aropita brubhir amar shanakshibhi. One should not go to anyone's house, even on the consideration of his being a relative or a friend, when the man is disturbed in his mind and looks upon the guest with raised eyebrows and angry eyes. Should not go to such places unnecessarily. Our Gurudev also told to one sannyasi, there was some accusing against him. So then Gurudev told him, he may go to those places where they will receive him with faith. But I will not press others to accept him. This is there. I will not press him to go to that places, because that is not beneficial. But he may go to other places where he will be received, then he can go, but not to a place. You should not go to a place where you are not welcomed. Tatari bir na vyatate shilimukei sheter di tango hridayena duyata swanam yata vakra diyam duruktibir diva nisham tapyati marma taritaha. Lord Shiva continued, if one is hurt by the arrows of an enemy, one is not as aggrieved as when cut by the unkind words of a relative. For such grief continues to rend one's heart day and night. Someone may put arrow, that is painful. Enemy will put arrow. That is very painful. But it is more painful if someone from your side, like a relative or friend or someone, will speak some harsh words that will produce more pain. And it will stay inside. That some scar, that impression will be there, and you cannot clear so easily. Day and night that will stay there. Why he said this? Yes, this. He was hurt by someone close, hurt, accused of something which it was not his intention to do and never intended to do, but he was accused of that by someone near. So that was very painful. So painful, he thought there is no use of living this life. I don't want to live. That is very painful. From someone close, if he speaks in that way. So Shiva is warning her. It is very painful, this. Vyaktam tvam utkrishta gateh prajapateh priyatma janam asi subru me mata tatapi manam napitu prapatsya se mat ashrayat kah paritapyate yatah. My dear white-complexioned wife, it is clear that of the many daughters of Daksha, you are the pet. Yet, you will not be honored at his house because of your being my wife. Rather, you will be sorry that you are connected with me. So here, Sai Maharaj is. Lord Shiva put forth the argument that even if Sati proposed to go alone, without her husband, still she would not be received well because she was his wife. There was every chance of a catastrophe even if she wanted to go alone. Therefore, Lord Shiva indirectly requested her not to go to her father's house. Papachya manena hrida tu rendriyah samridibih purusha buddhi sakshinam akalpa esham adhi rodhum anjasa param padam dveshti yata sura harim. One who is conducted by false ego and thus always distressed, both mentally and sensually, cannot tolerate the opulence of self-realized persons. being unable to rise to the standard of self-realization, he envies such persons as much as demons envy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Pratyudgama prashrayana-bhivadanam vidiyate sadhumitah sumadhyame pragyai parasmai purushaya chetasa guha shayayeva nadeha manine. My dear young wife, certainly friends and relatives offer mutual greetings by standing up, welcoming one another and offering obeisances. But those who are elevated to the transcendental platform, being intelligent, offer such respects to the super soul who is sitting within the body, not to the person who identifies with the body. Shiva did this. He's on transcendental platform. He's a realized soul. So he's not offering respects based on some bodily thinking, but he is offering respect to all, considering that Supreme Lord is there inside them. That is Trinada Pisunichana Tarora Pisahisnana Amanina Manadena Kirtana Sadahuri. Shiva is always Amanina and Manadena, offering due respect to all in this way on transcendental platform. And always humbler than a blade of grass and tolerant as a tree. He was not disturbed being criticized, and no. So he's really giving respect. But in this world, people will give respect. Oh, he's very rich, so everyone wants to go around him and praise him. Or someone is very famous like this, they will give respect based on bodily thinking. But they will not give respect to someone else. Oh, he's very poor, or he's from that country, he's like this. They cannot give respect to all. They are giving respect only based on material consideration and for their own interest. But a real devotee, realized soul, he can give real respect and to everyone. So as long as one does not come to such platform, there will be offenses committed in the chanting of the name. That is why Mahaprabhu told this verse. You have to practice this verse, then you can chant pure name, otherwise not possible. He may be devotee or not, but Krishna is inside his heart. That is why pure devotee can give respect to one, and he can chant Harinam on transcendental platform. Now he is telling, Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam Yat iyate tatra puman apavritaha Sattve cha tasmin Bhagavan Vasudevo Hyadoksha jome namasa vidiyate. I am always engaged in offering obeisances to Lord Vasudeva in pure Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is always pure consciousness, in which the Supreme Personality of Godhead, known as Vasudeva, is revealed without any covering. Our Gurudev always spoke this verse whenever he wanted to say that on the appearance day of Supreme Lord, he will appear in the pure heart of pure devotee. This Vasudev means Vasudev with short A, father of Krishna, and his son Krishna is Vasudev. So Vasudev can only be revealed in Vasudev. Vasudev means Sattvam Vishuddham, means Vishuddha Sattva, transcendental, pure. That is why Gurudev said, tomorrow Krishna will appear. So we have to purify our heart of all other desires, then Krishna will appear in our heart, because he is not appearing in polluted heart. In pure devotee's heart, Krishna will appear. So here Shiva is telling, I am always giving respect to everyone, seeing Vasudeva Krishna there inside. Who can do this? One who has vision, he can feel, he can see Krishna is inside. That is only one who is on transcendental platform. That is why this is important. Trinada Pisunichana, Tarora Pisahi. That is transcendental platform. Kirtaniya Sadahuri. Krishna is eternal, I am eternal, devotion is eternal. And no false ego, and tolerant, and no desire for respect, and giving due respect to all. This is Shiva. That is why he is the best of Vaishnavas. Best of demigods, best of Vaishnavas, because he is pure devotee. So this Adokshaja, he is beyond the comprehension of senses. But one who is pure devotee, he is on Vishuddha Sattva. He can see Krishna everywhere, in the heart of everyone. That is why he can give due respect to all. Yes, in this Krishna consciousness means Vasudeva Shabditam, Krishna, known as Vasudeva, is revealed without any covering. That is the actual revelation of Krishna, his transcendental form, in transcendental realization. So those who are such pure devotees, they can see Krishna in the heart of everyone. That is why they can give respect to everyone. Tomorrow we will further hear. And